All right, so now that we understand a little bit more about IDFs, we're going to take a look at each one of the different IDF and EMF solutions that we have available here at the Phoenix Aurelius Research Academy. The first is our scalar balance mats, and these are great for a large number of things. And along with those are scalar balance wristbands. The mats are not imprinted with IDF tunings, but the scalar balance wristbands are. We also have BioArc discs. We have large BioArc discs and we have small BioArc discs. Neither of these come imprinted with IDF tunings, but they can be imprinted with IDF tunings. In and of themselves, they are primarily just Lakhovsky antenna instruments to help to protect against EMF and other other forms of radiation. These other instruments, we have a teak wood home balancer, or what is oftentimes referred to as a room balancer, and we also have a plastic room balancer. Both of these do exactly the same thing, the same functions. They utilize IDF cards. These IDF cards have different qualities, like this one is for eliminating jet lag, that are imprinted into the hologram. Then what you would do is you would put this into the hologram card slot, and as long as the unit is charged and turned into the on position, then what is happening here is that all of the tunings that have been imprinted into the IDF hologram are now being sent. This goes to about 1,000 feet, 1,000 cubic feet. So that's what we are looking at with both of these units. These are great for home use, and they're great for room use and for apartments and for a large number of other types of things about that size. We also have right here, this is a personal balancing unit, and the personal balancing unit also utilizes these cards. It does come with this silicone belt strap and protector, so you could put it on a belt, you could put it on the belt loop of the backpack that you're wearing, or possibly also on a shoulder strap. You can also put this in your purse. If you really wanted to, maybe it's a little bulky for this, but you could definitely fit it in a back pocket. But as long as you have this within about 6 feet or 2 meters of yourself, you're going to be utilizing and receiving the tunings that are on the card that you have. The battery life on all of these things usually lasts about a month, and this is a great personal option to be able to balance you, and it's especially something that's mobile, so they're really great balance. Now, we also have what is known as a remote balancer, and the remote balancer is awesome because it can send any sort of tunings, again, that are on one of these cards to anybody's photo that you have printed out. Ideally, you would want a tissue sample. You could use a vial of blood or dried blood, hair cells, skin cells, any sort of tissue would work. We don't necessarily like keeping people's biological tissue on hand over here, so we oftentimes will use a Polaroid photograph or a digital photograph. These definitely work better with a Polaroid, and you would just set that into a glassine envelope and then set it on here. Now, whoever's picture is on the input plate here is going to receive all of the benefit of these. And what makes these instruments different is the size of the broadcast space and how far that they can broadcast. This remote balancer has an unlimited broadcast capacity. It can broadcast across the entire planet and well into space and whatever else. There's no limit to that because we're connecting to it through different quantum scalar antennas. These other ones have a more limited antenna and broadcast capacity. They are limited to a certain number of feet. So they all just have different size antennas inside of them, but perform essentially the same functions by being able to read and scan any of the tunings that are on the hologram and printed into the hologram, and being able to broadcast that out to the environment. We also have a couple of different units that use a slightly different technology than a card. They are essentially the same, but a little bit different. We have a DC adapter for cars, and that is one of the units, and we have a unit that is almost exactly identical. It's just for computers or for USB instruments. Now, if you do have USB ports inside of your vehicle, you can definitely use one of these. That's the way that I do it as well. However, we don't use a card, we use a USB stick, and this USB stick has a hologram printed in it of the Chi-O logo, and what ends up happening is that this USB unit actually has a blue light that flashes through and activates all of those tunings, and that's the way that these units work. So these are really great to just keep in the car or to take with you in your laptop. So all of these different Chi-O instruments come with 2 different holograms of your choice that you can choose. We have 25 different options and growing. There are 25 that exist just as part of the Chi-O offerings, and the Phoenix Aurelius Research Academy is beginning to release more of these regularly, which are more advanced and more structured IDF solutions as cards to be able to put into all of these cards and or USB holograms. So you get to choose which one of the different tuning styles that you would like. Now, if you don't necessarily want to purchase one of these instruments, these cards themselves actually do have a hologram on them, and as long as the hologram is really close to or within your own biofield, it will have an effect on you as well. Some people put them in lanyards that, for like ID badges and other things like that. That is a great option actually, because it's very close to the human biofield. The human heart and the human brain both intersect right around the center of the chest. There are electromagnetic fields and the biofield in general, and that can help to activate all of the tunings that are on that intrinsic data field hologram here. So you can use all of the hologram cards without these instruments, but these instruments massively amplify the strength with which the intrinsic data field signal is sent and make it more directed and more efficacious as a result. Now, for those who purchased their Chi-Os in the past and happen to purchase jewelry-based Chi-Os, especially that take micro SD card chips, we are still servicing those. So if you want to purchase any more of those IDF holograms that are on the SD card for the jewelry Chi-Os, the Chi-O Fee or the Chi-O bracelet, then we can definitely provide those to you as well. So all of these are our EMF and IDF solutions that we offer for non-SE5 users here at the Phoenix Aurelius Research Academy, and it's my hope that you'll take a look into some of the more specific details of all of these to determine if any of them are right for you and use in your home or office.